He used a mouth spreader to force the man's mouth open, then shoved handful after handful of cash inside. He kept going until the man's mouth and windpipe were completely stuffed, causing him to suffocate and die. The 25 billion won found at the scene was all money the man had earned from distributing child sexual exploitation videos. Although he had been arrested by the police, he received a sentence of only 1 year and 3 months, simply because he had married a foreign woman. On the day of his release, citizens gathered outside the prison to protest, condemning the justice system for the lenient punishment. But not only was he unrepentant, he even cursed at the crowd, screaming that he had done nothing wrong. Even more infuriating, he went right back to his old ways on the very night of his release. Having learned a lesson from his last capture, this time he specifically targeted orphans. Just then, a person wearing a dog mask sent a national death penalty vote app to the phones of every citizen in the country. The entire nation could participate in the vote. If the votes in favor of executing the man exceeded 50% within 1 hour, the masked man would personally kill him. At that moment, the man was partying in a nightclub. When he saw the vote on the app, not only did he fail to grasp the seriousness of the situation, he told everyone around him to vote yes. After they all voted, he felt it still wasn't enough, so he cast a yes vote for himself. But by the time the vote ended, the man had been stripped naked and tied to a chair. His previous arrogant demeanor instantly vanished, and he repeatedly begged the masked man for mercy. The masked man took out his phone and showed him the final result, 84% in favor. Then the masked man executed him. When the police found the man, he was a corpse that had been stuffed to death with money. Although the detective felt the man got what he deserved, it was still a homicide, and the killer had to be brought to justice. However, the killer possessed a strong counter-surveillance sense. No evidence was left at the crime scene, and with the heavy vehicle traffic nearby, the investigation was at a dead end. Just as the police left the scene, the nation's phones received a live broadcast from the masked man. In the broadcast, he revealed all of the man's criminal evidence, including proof the police had failed to uncover. He also played a recording of the execution. At the end of the broadcast, the masked man announced that from now on the 15th and 30th of every month at 10 p.m., a national death penalty vote would be held to specifically judge criminals who had escaped legal justice and showed no remorse. As long as the yes vote reached 50%, the death penalty would be carried out. Once the story broke, the entire nation began to see the masked man as the light of the city. Police leadership took emergency measures, appointing an officer named Chan Yol as the head of a special investigation team to capture the masked man.